everybody. Quiet, listen to me. We're going to start a show.
So Halloween's tomorrow.
No, it's not, you fucking idiot.
I guess it's Saturday, sorry. Shut up.
Are you recording?
Maybe. I was trying to set up a segue, but I was trying to think of a cold open, but I don't know, fuck it.
Nice go.
Anyway, welcome to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, everybody. This is a podcast where we talk about cartoons and stuff. I'm sure this sounds really lethargic, this entire episode.
You fail so hard. It hurts me
what's
sometimes.
What's wrong with this show? Anyway,
it physically pains
me
me sometimes.
To put a name to the person that is wronging this show, I am JD.
Did you forget your name halfway through?
Yes. Who are you people?
Andy.
We're not gonna get anything done this week, are we? Well, say your name.
Well, do it! I already said it!
Alright.
You cut out. I didn't hear it.
I'm Kyle.
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
cool.
We got a name. We got a name, everybody.
Yay! So, like every week, if you're new here, welcome. If at the end of the episode, you enjoyed whatever this is, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and share.
JD, are you rolling dice to decide what to say next? Like,
yes.
Here, gotcha, execute.
I've got my bones that I throw
I'm
into
just
the
noticing
fire.
this weird pause.
Sorry, I'm like tired and kind of like trying to remember what I say every week.
You got your sex dice out, like ass on face. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing. No, but if you liked this episode at the end, please share it with your friends, because that would be really cool. We're trying to get our viewership up. Also, there's a contest of sorts going on our Facebook at the moment. We're getting close to 50 likes, and when we do, Andy will pick 3 random people and do free drawing requests. Also, if we hit 75, I will do 3 random drawing requests. So, yeah, like our Facebook.
And then when we get to 100, Kyle will do free drawing requests.
You know,
because we fucking discussed that earlier, but you're leaving me out of the loop.
I thought we agreed that we were going to wait until we got the 50 benchmark to announce that. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting up in my face about it. So, you know, like our Facebook page and share it with everybody you can, because the more likes you get means you get a chance at free stuff, and who doesn't like free stuff?
Yeah, really. I'm not understanding this difficulty. I mean, it's not like liking a Facebook page is that hard.
It takes you one click, and you might get free stuff. Anyway.
Maybe we can get Ari to cook dinner for somebody. I don't know.
we'll ship it out to you.
No, she's cooking. I mean, might as well.
She's not cooking, she's eating. There's a distinct difference.
Well, I can't see her, Kyle.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, so all this month, if for some reason this is where you're coming into our show, but whatever, we've been talking about Halloween spooky stuff all month, because it's October, and that's just kind of what you do. So I was kind of at a loss of what to do this week, but Kyle and Andy can...
Like always.
Damn!
It's right. I don't think I've actually come up with an episode idea in weeks. But Kyle and Andy suggested we talk about some really old cartoons, like old Warner Brothers and Disney and Fleischer, and all that good old black and white stuff. Maybe some color stuff, I don't know.
Back in the days of casual racism and no political correctness.
I mean, you could say spooks, and it wasn't, you know, exactly a racial slur.
Yeah, I don't like that. You know, I hate it because it's like, if I'm gonna... I just hate that is a racial slur. Because first off, it's fucking lazy.
Hey man,
like,
I don't make up old-timey slurs.
I'm bringing it back.
Please don't. It's a slur for a reason, Kyle.
It shouldn't be.
So... I'll be honest, I don't know too many of like a bunch of old stuff, so I will leave this mostly in your guys' reigns, but I will comment in where.
So begins our phasing out of JD.
I'm pretty much useless to this show. I mean, the only reason I'm around is because I'm the one who puts the episodes up.
Which I've offered to do numerous times, but
I edit the episodes too. And
that's true.
When I say edit, I put music on the end of it, beginning and end of it. That's about it. I don't edit these anymore. So let's stop beating around the bush and get into it.
Well, if we're going to start talking about this, I would like to start with what I consider to be one of the most important cartoons I've ever seen. It had a pretty big effect on me, even though it scared the bejesus out of me as a kid, and it's going to seem really silly. I want to talk about the Skeleton Dance, because kids love skeletons. You know, the Skeleton Wars are a big thing, even though I think it's one of the dumbest jokes. I think my idea of skeletons revolting against necromancers for skeleton rights has a lot more to do with Tumblr's mindset than fighting fuckboys, but what do I know?
The fuckboys need to go be knocked down a peg.
I don't even know what the fuck a fuckboy is.
I don't either.
I tried.
It's a very bad term.
Oh.
It is a prison rape term.
Oh. Now I feel bad.
Yes.
Good thing we put this thing on explicit. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about, because I remember watching this a lot as a kid because we had an old VHS tape, and this was typically thrown into the Disney line of things. So I think I had a Disney VHS tape. I remember the label was mostly ripped off, so I couldn't really tell you what the name of it was. But I just know it started off with, there were two cartoons on there that I remember pretty much to this day, and they go very close hand in hand. The first one is The Skeleton Dance. It's made in 1929. If you haven't watched it, most of these are on YouTube.
Yeah, they're almost public domain at this point.
Yeah, like, even if they're not, I don't think they care enough about, like, Disney or anything.
They're not making any money off of it anymore.
Actually, I own
don't care.
I own a Skeleton Dance t-shirt.
Aw, that's awesome.
They actually put that on a t-shirt, and my mom actually traveled to 2 different stores to find it for me.
Your mom loves you.
To surprise me. I know, it was weird. I was like... But it's a great little cartoon. I think it was the first Silly Symphony, which was part of Disney's long-running... You know, they basically animate to music.
Nice.
This one was drawn by Ub Iwerks, who... Kind of a big deal.
Oob. Did Oob draw Oswald?
He basically created Mickey and Oswald.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was pretty much the father of, like... I would say he was a huge start of the animation industry.
I feel like, honestly, Disney wouldn't be anywhere close to what it is, or has become, if he wasn't involved in the beginning.
The thing was, Disney was like the businessman, and Ub was like
the art man.
The artist. Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, because you see like a drawing of Mickey from like Walt himself, it's nowhere near as on model as what Oob could do.
No.
He's drawing with like the whole pencil like clenched in his hand.
Just fisting it, just
Making art. Must sell t-shirts. But
So the Skeleton Dance.
Just watch it. I mean, it's a really short... That's the beauty of these cartoons, that they're all really short. It's black and white. The reason it scared the hell out of me is because it has that creepy old kind of black and white vibe in the beginning, and it opens up with a lightning strike and giant owl's eyes staring into your soul.
Too spoopy.
And then it just gets really goofy after, like, a build-up to a bunch of skeletons just dancing in a graveyard.
But man, when they take, like, the 3 skeletons and turn them into some kind of hell beast, that's some fucked up shit.
I mean, it's just great. It's just a bunch of goofy... It's a catchy song. I think I've actually heard, like, a techno remix of it that was actually pretty good. But it's just great, because it's really impressive to consider this was done in 1929, because you have sets of 4 skeletons dancing.
Yeah, when I took a fucking animation history class, that was one of the things that my professor wanted to point out in when we watched Skeleton Dance. Was like, they only drew the skeleton once. There's so many, like, almost the entirety of the cartoon is just like the same skeleton copied over and over again.
But the way they make it look is so impressive. But then you have that.
For 'em.
But then you have that amazing scene where a skeleton plays another skeleton like a xylophone.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, there were some pretty impressive parts in there where they totally were not copying and pasting.
No. But I mean, for as early as it was, I can understand why they did the parts that they did like that.
Well, yeah, do you want to fucking sit there and draw?
I don't want to sit there and draw now.
Good point. But it's actually voted 1994. This was voted number 18 on the 50 greatest cartoons of all time by the animation field. And I think it's well deserving of that. And if anyone out there that watched it, I'm sure we can put a link to this on YouTube.
Probably.
Or on our Facebook page
Yeah, I'll
and
put it on
stuff.
the Facebook page.
Because it's great, and it's such a short, quick cartoon. If you end up not liking it, which I doubt you will not like it, you're not going to be, it's not like you spent 2 hours watching a shitty cartoon.
You would be as heartless as the skeletons in the cartoon.
They're not heartless, though. These skeletons, I look back on this when I was a kid and how it used to scare me, and it's like, no wonder the skeleton part of it didn't scare me. The skeletons were goofy.
well, I mean, like, literally, they don't have hearts.
True. I guess that is true. I was thinking of the interesting sequel to the Skeleton Dance that Ub Iwerks did when he went away from Disney, called The Skeleton Frolic.
Yeah, I didn't know what this was when you showed it to me. But
It's weird. I stumbled across it because I was looking at the Skeleton Dance a long time ago, and I saw that Ub Iwerks did something else, and it was called The Skeleton Frolic, and it's a color cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's like a spiritual remake or successor to it. It has a lot of the same kind of vibes, but obviously when it was made, like, they really bumped up the production values because, once again, you're dealing with color. You have a whole skeleton symphony.
Yeah, and I think I was saying this while we were watching it, but like the whole color palette, at least in the beginning, like almost looks like one of those old 90s grungy MTV cartoons.
It really does, especially with the background being all crazy and painted.
Yeah, like there's a lot of black with like very subtle dark color. And
Oh, I just found it actually. The tape that this was on was called Scary Tales, and it was a compilation of Walt Disney shorts.
that's awesome.
Released in '83, and it was apparently the third volume. And the only two from this I remember were The Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House, which was basically the Skeleton Dance with Mickey involved. It's actually kind of terrifying.
I bet.
Well, because the Grim Reaper's in it, not only does the Grim Reaper dance really weirdly, he likes to slap his hips.
Yeah, what they did the skeleton dance too. They like did like
The
just
skeletons had no shame, and I think that's pretty great. It's a great message.
It's like,
skeletons
hey, man, just go out there and party, man.
Skeletons would take each other's heads, and they'd play them like drums, and they wouldn't get mad at each other. And I would love to be in a band like that,
Yeah,
where everyone was just okay with one another.
there you go.
But all three of these, and especially the Haunted Mickey and the Haunted House one, is actually really cool because it was made at the same time. It's not the same as the Skeleton Dance. They do the dance from this. When you see it, you'll know. But it kind of builds it into more of a... actually, the Haunted Mickey and the Haunted House was very similar to... Kyle, you were more familiar. You pointed this one out to us. Flip the Frog and Spooks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mickey and the Haunted House one is almost like... I don't want to say identical, but it's kind of the same idea. I actually really like the Frog.
Flip was Ub's like Mickey back in the day after we lost it.
I don't know. I really liked that cartoon when we watched that.
This is reminding me of because there's also the Mad Doctor one, which is fucked up really bad too.
Oh man, is that the one where the Mad Doctor cuts Pluto's shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny thing about a lot of these old cartoons is that they're screwed up sometimes.
And not a lot of explanation is given for how or why this stuff is happening. It just kind of happens, and you just have to roll with it.
I mean, it
And
can't be any
Oh,
weirder.
it was a dream. It was just a dream. That's why it was so mad.
Even back then, I think
I
that was
think if we're gonna talk about oh, we're getting Robotronic here.
oh no.
Is it better?
Does someone have? Okay, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Sorry, slight technical difficulties. I was scared.
Yeah.
The robots were back.
The robot war shall commence.
I mean, if we're gonna start talking about like crazy, like messed up cartoons, I think Fleischer's messed up Halloween. Oh wait, no, there's one more silly symphony I wanted to talk about really quick called Hell's Bells.
Oh yeah.
Has nothing to do with the AC/DC song because obviously AC/DC was not anywhere near being around.
Yeah, you still
But,
got a good 50 years on that.
But yeah, Hell's Bells is a wonderful little cartoon, another silly symphony that takes children into hell.
I really wish we would have recorded the commentary over when we were watching this earlier.
I think we should definitely do that because we found a way to basically watch a lot of these.
Basically, to give anyone listening just kind of an idea of what was going on. Basically, every cartoon that Andy was showing me, I would just keep asking questions of what was happening and why is this happening. It's like, okay, there's a fucking basilisk now. It's like, why is he here? And why does this dog skeleton have ears? And
well, that wasn't Flip the Frog, but what about Cerberus Pluto? Because they went pretty hardcore in Hell's Bells with like the Visionary because it starts off with a creepy looking spider getting dragged into hell by flames.
yeah, and then there's like an alligator and stuff. And he just walked into a fire pit. No big deal, whatever.
And then suddenly, like, you're basically seeing Satan watching his band of little demons play, and then he takes one of the demons and feeds it to his dog.
Okay, that's the thing, is like, I know he's Satan. I accept that. Why does he have to be such a dick to his minions?
Because he's Satan.
But it's like,
Yeah, man.
but man, it's like a
Granted, we don't.
it's like a workforce. If you want, you can't just kill your employees. You're going to be short-staffed.
You know what?
You gotta make
Maybe
them
he's not Satan.
They can't
Maybe
be afraid
he's-
if they're dead.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Oh wait! Listen to the plot summary though. Satan and the demons gather for a wild party.
I mean, they did have a party until they started milking the demon cow.
Well,
Yeah.
then,
A lot of
then
sounds really weird out of context.
Then Satan got a bit drunk off of fire milk and started fucking with his minions, and that's what happened, man. And then he got
Like all Halloween parties,
Yeah.
you know, things get a little out of control when the demon milk comes out.
I did love
Yeah.
Doofy Satan, though.
It was actually kind of funny,
He
but
was
it's just
adorable.
crazy to me. This is called a silly symphony. It's called Hell's Bells,
It was
and
pretty
it features Satan feeding his minions to his dog Cerberus, who's
Back-
kind of adorable.
back in the day where you could swear in a kid's cartoon.
Well, I mean, fucking demons probably taste like bacon, so.
It's true. Crispy bacon, I would. Well, the nice thing is you can eat it and you don't have to worry about cancer. Because you're already in hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are you trying to? What are you worried about?
Jeez.
But yeah. I mean, I think segueing into it, if we're going to talk about messed up imagery, Fleischer, I think, had the.
Yeah.
I think Fleischer had things been. It's crazy because they were Disney's rivals for the longest time.
Yeah, Fleischer had some interesting little shorts there.
Well, I mean, you have to consider the studio ended up doing Superman, which is still great to this day.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
Superman shorts still kind of hold up.
Oh, they hold up really well. I mean, they created Betty Boop. They, had Cab Calloway, Louis Armstrong, Don Redman.
God. Okay,
You had so many celebrities at the time just appearing in their cartoons,
Okay,
and they were all terrifying.
I told you guys this, but I just want to tell this to the people listening at home. Anytime there's Cab Calloway shows up in a Fleischer cartoon, they make him do this dance, and it's all rotoscoped, so it's like very fluid and just very creepily out of place compared to everything else in the cartoon.
Yeah, it's if you ever look back, and then Fleischer, I think, is responsible for bringing about the era in black and white cartoons where everything had a face and everything was alive.
Yeah. I mean,
Max Fleischer invented rotoscope. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, he did. God, I remember that now.
And Ralph Bakshi ended up using it a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like really big on rotoscoping and that whole rubber hose animation kind of style.
And we watched a little short. I mean, it's not. Oh no, wait, no, we did. Well, me and Kyle mostly watched it. JD came towards the end, which probably made it even more terrifying.
Yeah, you assholes didn't even tell me you were doing that.
Swing You Sinners, was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Halloween, but man, did it mess everyone up.
Yeah, I caught like the last 10 seconds of that, and it was fucking horrifying.
What did you see in those last 10 seconds, JD?
It was the weird faces coming to eat that one guy, and they chase him into hell.
And then there's a frog demon feeling itself up and slapping its belly, and
Yeah.
suddenly
Just all kinds of fucking shit going on.
a giant skull comes out of nowhere and eats Bimbo the dog as he's falling into hell. And you know what caused all that, JD? You know what caused Bimbo to descend into hell? He stole a chicken.
Yeah. I mean, thou shalt not steal is all the commandments right there. I mean, what's so hard about that?
Once again, not a Halloween cartoon. I think it trumps any of the ones we've talking about so far in terms of just raw insanity and just terrifying nature.
From what little I saw, it was fucking weird.
I mean, stealing chickens back in the day, that was a big fucking crime. And you had to have an educational video to show them what would happen. I mean, fucking alligator ghosts and octopus ghosts would come out of the grave and fucking transform your house into 800 faces, and then a skull would eat you. I mean, I don't want to steal a chicken right now.
Yeah, after watching that, I'm terrified to even look at a chicken. If I see a chicken, I might just run the other way. I will run away screaming because I do not want... It sucks because I live right near a graveyard or a cemetery. So, I mean, by all means, in this cartoon, all of a sudden the cemetery gates lock behind the character being the character who stole the chicken. They trap him in the cemetery. Suddenly the tombstones start coming alive and singing at him, and everything else starts happening. And Fleischer, man, I swear, he must have just done a shitload of opium.
I mean, back in the day, I'm sure you had ample access to it.
I'm living the dream, man.
Yeah, I would love to... I could just imagine what working for him was like. It was like, okay, we're going to do a cartoon. Here's what I want to happen. And I could just imagine everybody involved in that team was like, oh my god, this guy's a mad genius.
Fleischer was a madman.
And I don't think they ever did an actual Halloween cartoon. Their cartoons just had this unbearable, creepy quality to them. Some of the obviously the ones that were not meant to be cartoon, funny, like the later Betty Boop ones, but that crazy one we watched, it was Betty Boop's, it was like a retelling of Snow White with Betty Boop that ended suddenly with Coco the Clown doing that crazy dance JD was talking about, but he gets inverted, so he's a fucking long-legged ghost.
Yeah, that was very unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's so unsettling. It's not Halloween.
I mean, the design itself is unsettling, but the fact that he's moving so fluidly with the rotoscope is...
And then he drinks his own head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope everyone who listens to this checks out all the cartoons we're talking about, because, I mean, we can describe them and talk about them as much as we want, but nothing compares to actually seeing them.
Yeah,
People
definitely watch that one.
Watch him and be like, man, you guys are pussies.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to have nightmares. I'm just saying, you just kind of look at it for what it is. Can you imagine what it must have been like to see that in the 30s?
Yeah. That was their version of special effects.
Right.
That was the before The Exorcist came out, this was considered the greatest horror story ever told. Fleischer Animation kept kids up all night and parents wondering, oh my god, what is going on in there?
Oh god.
Man, have you actually seen Halloween costumes from the 1930s and shit?
Oh god, that's a fucking nightmare, fool.
Fool?
Fool.
Sorry, fuel. Nightmare fuel.
There you go.
God, it's fucking horrifying what used to pass as Halloween costumes back then.
That's what I mean. It was really fucked up stuff back then. So
Halloween, they didn't. Oh, you mean wearing creepy clown masks and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean this is back in the day where they didn't really have copyrighted character costumes you could go buy. I mean you just what's some really fucked up thing that arts and like in literature, or such a thing we can think up. You just dress up as that.
I know. I'll go as a clown.
Like,
terrifying.
It's not scary, but I saw someone basically dress up in all black and strap a telephone to their head. That was their costume.
Well, you know, I think it's
What?
just a big thing with like black and white stuff. Just kind of looks. It just has this creepy quality to it in a lot of cases, and I think that's kind of the case with the Fleischer cartoons. Is that they're not necessarily scary, but like from a general standpoint, but just the scratchiness, the black and white, the coloring, the fact that all the backgrounds in all of these are painted. Like, look at the background of the skeleton dance. It's a creepy-looking graveyard. If you remove the fact that this was, like, dancing skeletons, it would look like your last known photograph before you died.
Yeah.
Or it looked like some sort of fever dream you have when you were, like, on your deathbed.
That's awesome.
God. You know, one of my favorite, well, let's see. I don't know how much longer we want to try and go this for, but here's a question. I know I asked this when we first started this month, but I'm thinking maybe now, because we kind of talked about quite a few of this. If you had to summarize, like, one of your favorite cartoons of the Halloween season, like, what would you say it would be? Like, what is that one thing, like, I guess nostalgic-wise, you think of,
Like,
animation-wise, that just to you, it's Halloween. It solidifies the fact that it's the Halloween season.
well, I mean, it's not Halloween unless it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And the weird thing is, I didn't think about it until just today.
So that's why I thought I'd ask, because obviously we're 2 days away from the holiday itself. I mean, I'm sure we've all kind of had our minds refreshed.
Yeah, because I had to think. I don't know why, because I think we were talking about going to see the Peanuts movie in a couple weeks, and my neighbors upstairs are banging around again. But
They're banging.
no. But anyway, yeah, I thought about it, and it's like, I just don't feel like it's Halloween or Christmas until I see, the Peanut special that I usually go. So like once a year, I gotta watch The Great Pumpkin, and on Christmas I gotta watch the Charlie Brown Christmas. Even though Melanie absolutely despises the Peanuts characters.
Oh man, I need to talk to Melanie. I mean, I don't think I despise the Peanuts characters.
No,
but
she hates them because she thinks the children are mean, and I tell
Yes,
her that
that is
they're
exactly
supposed
it.
to be mean. They're children. Children are horrible creatures.
But they're all mean to Charlie Brown, and it's like I watched. At work, I watched because one girl I work with, she wanted to watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and the clients were kind of enjoying it. And I'm watching this thinking like, my God, everyone is just an asshole to this kid. No wonder he's depressed all the time.
Yeah.
Like I think the Christmas special's even worse because he gets the shitty tree and everyone just, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous that people love Peanuts and Charlie Brown, and it's like, but the kids were so cruel.
But that's the thing. I like that the children are cruel because children are cruel.
Yes, I get that.
I remember being a kid, and we all picked on one kid all the time because they were an easy target, and kids are dicks.
Were they a chemo patient who wore a stupid striped shirt?
I don't think he's a chemo patient. He's not Caillou.
He's not Kyle?
Actually, no, Caillou. The Caillou.
I know.
Bald kid
Oh,
on
okay.
PBS.
That Kyle was about to fucking.
I don't know if Caillou actually has cancer. I just assumed he did.
All I know is there's a going fan theory that Caillou is One Punch Man.
One Punch
Because
And
they're
I think
bald
that's-
kids.
Because they're both bald, and One Punch Man wears like a yellow suit, and he just looks furious. And it's like, man, puberty hit Caillou like a ton of bricks.
God damn it.
I never have watched a single episode of Caillou. The
haven't
most
either.
I know about Caillou is from this guy I used to work with at Best Buy. He worked in the warehouse, and he had a kid, and he said he fucking hated Caillou because he said Caillou as a show set unrealistic standards about what parenting is. It's like, oh yeah, I got my kid coming up to me. Let's go to the museum today, Dad. Dad's got to work. I'm not like Caillou's fucking dad.
Jesus Christ.
And just the fact, just hearing this man just getting so indignant about Caillou, I almost pissed myself laughing because this was an actual conversation before the workday started.
Well, Andy, I will pose the same question to you. Now that, we're getting close to Halloween, what, short or movie or whatever, solidifies Halloween for you?
As much as I'm not a Disney person per se, like, even though I know I talked mostly about Disney stuff tonight, DTV Monster Hits would probably be... That's like a family tradition.
Explain DTV Monster Hits, because I don't know what that is.
What? Oh, man, you're missing out. Basically, DTV was Disney Channel. Disney as a channel would have these things called DTV. They had this thing called DTV. And what it was, they would do music videos with their cartoons to, popular music at the time. And what they did was they had an entire special called DTV Monster Hits, which was hosted by the Mirror from Snow White. But it was really cool. And they would just go through and they had music videos set to popular songs. And it was great because it opened up with Michael Jackson's Thriller, and then they brought in... that's where I learned I loved Creedence Clearwater Revival. Because they did Bad Moon Rising, and they also did, they did Sweet Dreams Are Made of This.
Oh, wow.
It's they do a lot of really good stuff, and it's just awesome because Jeff Jones is the Magic Mirror, June Foray appears as Witch Hazel.
Okay, so does fucking Warner Bros. And Disney both have a Witch Hazel?
I mean, it's named after some bullshit. I mean, it's not really a fucking trademark name.
It's just weird.
It's a pretty common
witch character and named her that.
It's a very common witch name, man.
Right.
I think the Warner Brothers one was the more prominent one because Witch Hazel is kind of one-off.
I didn't even know Disney had one until you said something.
I mean, she appeared in a Donald Duck short that was about Donald Duck being a dick and not letting his nephews have Halloween.
I hate that one so fucking much.
Because Donald's a dick?
I never saw him as a dick. Like, I felt that the witch and the kids bullied him in a sense. Like, I felt bad more for Donald.
I could see that, because didn't they have, like, a broom beat the shit out of him?
Yeah, they beat the fuck out of him because he swallowed a key.
Oh, that's right. They had to shake it out of him?
Yeah, and then they steal all his food and shit. Like, I felt bad for him. But I do find it funny that June Foray played, like I'm looking it up right now. She played Witch Hazel, Warner Brothers. She played Witch Hazel, Disney. She played a witch in Tom and Jerry, and then another witch in Casper. So she had the witch mark.
Fuck.
She just had that witches thing, she just sounded like a witch. Actually, if you want a better Donald Duck, like, Halloween cartoon, watch Donald Duck and the Gorilla. That's another one that was on that Scary Tales DVD. That was actually really good. I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily... I don't think it was necessarily Halloween, but it was kind of scary. Basically, a killer gorilla escapes from the local zoo. Why a zoo would have a killer gorilla?
Well, brings in the customers.
I guess so, but yeah, it gets loose and all sorts of wacky hijinks happens, and it actually, I think, kind of freaked me out more as a kid than the skeleton dance, now that I think on it. Mostly because the gorilla was drawn really fucking scary.
Okay, speaking of fucking scary drawings, I was going through old, spookier Warner Brothers shorts, and I was rewatching the one where Gossamer first appeared.
Oh, that's a classic.
I think it was called Hair Raising Hair or whatever. But the
how he does his nails.
That was the best part of the entire show. Where Bugs Bunny just pulls out a fucking manicure station.
Yeah.
No, but what I didn't remember about this that freaked me, it didn't freak me out, I just thought it was really fucking creepy, is that there's a mad scientist character, and he looks like, fucking Peter Lorre.
Hugh Laurie.
What?
Wait, no, Peter Lorre, I'm sorry, I was
Hugh
yelling.
Hugh Laurie's the guy of House. Peter Lorre's the guy we always...
I was yelling, I'm sorry, that's bad. I was talking about Hugh Laurie with someone earlier today.
Sorry. But,
sorry, no, you're right, Peter Lorre, how could I forget?
Yeah, he looks like Peter Lorre, but, in the beginning, his first shot that he's in, he's drawn way too realistically. so he looks kind of like out of place for the rest of the cartoon, but like as it goes on he gets more cartoony looking, so he fits in more. But it's like that first shot, like he has way too much detail in his face compared to any other character in the short.
I mean, anytime Peter Lorre appeared, it was always kind of... yeah, like, wait, I think I found it because, yeah, the shading is way too
Yeah,
real.
he has way too much shading on his face, he's got too many, like, wrinkles, and it's just...
Like,
compared to, like, when Bugs pops in a minute later, he's way too well done.
you know, I can't believe shame on me for not talking about this, but I guess because I never really associated with Halloween, but Quackbusters.
What is Quackbusters?
God damn it, JD, what the fuck?
I'm sorry.
So
Quackbusters... Yeah, get with the fucking program. But Quackbusters was, it was basically a series... Well, I don't want to say it was a series of shorts, but it was a Warner Brothers cartoon movie that had a lot of horror stuff in it. I think they had the Gossamer short was in there, but it also had that's where Dracula and Bugs Bunny crossed paths.
Isn't it
sure
just
you've
like
seen
a... It's just like a framing device for all their shorts, really.
Yeah, because they do references to like they have the Exorcist short is actually really good. Daffy Duck has to go in and basically perform an exorcism because he's trying to make money being a paranormal investigator, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this, and I've only seen it once a while back, but is this like... There's an old Daffy Duck cartoon that is like him like reading horror comics.
Yeah, that's in the beginning of Quackbusters.
Okay, so that's what it's from. Yeah, like
because
he's like
Leatherface appears.
Yeah, he's like reading old horror comics, and like I think gets hit on the head, and then he imagines he's like a lounge singer at this club that is like host to like every horror monster in conceivable history. Like, and for some reason, like the head. The Mad Magazine guy head pops in for a second.
Alfred E. Newman's there. Yeah. He just appears in the bottom corner, and actually, I really love that short because it has probably the coolest looking like drawing of the Gill Man.
Yeah, like a lot of the monster designs are really well done.
Oh, they're like spot on. The Leatherface design, Kyle just pulled up here. Like it's great, and I just love how they had to have because he's cutting his steak with a chainsaw, like you're doing at this. I love the warning, kids don't try this at home at the bottom. That was a really good short.
Yeah.
The Wolfman's there, like it was that fun sort of, it kind of seemed like it was referencing Mad Monster Party a little bit, but good.
Bit. I just thought that was funny.
And that's really creepy, because it's just the stock photo of his face.
They just posted it on a body.
They didn't even bother to do anything.
I think it's funny that they throw the fly in there, like even like the reference of like the movie, and the whole thing is brought about because Smogzilla, which was their Godzilla, because Daffy Duck started making fun of him.
Yeah,
and Quackbusters is really good. Like, there's one scene in Quackbusters that to this day still creeps me out. There's a short. Where, there's a segment, basically, where Sylvester is traveling with Porky Pig, and they have to stay at this creepy, abandoned, place, and it's just basically, there's a scene where Sylvester is stuck out in a hallway, and he sees a ghost coming down the hallway, and the music is so creepy, and the way the ghost is moving is just it still to this day unnerves me when I see it.
I just love he's trying so hard to protect Porky, and Porky's just not having any of his shit. And and it's like beating the fuck out of him.
Well, it's so fucking messed up because Porky, like it turns out it was all mice or rats or something that was doing it, but they were gonna cut Porky's head off with an axe if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I used to watch Quackbusters a lot. I think I wore out the VHS tape on that one. It was really good, JD. I think if you get a chance to, you should watch it. I mean, you've probably seen some of the segments.
Yeah, I think I might have.
I think it was really like Kyle said, a framing device, but they do the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing with Tweety Bird, which is...
I've seen that one.
I've
probably seen a lot of the segments, it's just a lot of the in-betweens.
Well, that's where we got the Abominable Snowman.
Huh.
It was basically George from, or Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Oh, jeez.
A quote that my sister still uses to this day. He always works that quote in from that short. Gosh, it's hot.
I just realized we never asked Kyle. Kyle, what would you consider to be your quintessential Halloween cartoon? Like, what?
Like it doesn't feel like Halloween unless you watch it.
I don't really have one, but just for the sake of an answer, I like Runaway Brain. That's one of my favorites.
I need to watch.
Kyle has like the hugest boner for Runaway Brain.
I think me and Kyle, when we first started, like way back in the day when we met off DeviantArt, he would show me all this stuff for Runaway Brain, and I kept meaning to see it, and I had to.
I've seen these things in person, and Kyle has an unnerving amount of Runaway Brain merchandise.
I mean, hey, I'm the same way with Jaws. I have so much Jaws paraphernalia.
I have a fucking crew jacket from the...
I know you do.
That made it. But, no, it's just... It's not really a Halloween cartoon, but...
It's a spooky monster story.
It's really creepy in the sense that Mickey's trying to... He's playing a video game, which is Mortal Kombat, but with the dwarfs from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay, that already sounds... phenomenal. I need to watch this cartoon.
He's like Doc and Grumpy just beat the shit out of each other.
Well, no, it's Dopey versus the witch, and she's like throwing apples at him.
Right.
But Minnie asks him if they're ready for a date. He completely spaced out. She gets mad, and he's like, "No, look, I planned it." And he's like showing her a mini golf thing. But she sees like something else in a newspaper. It's like a $999 trip to Hawaii. So she gets all excited.
Steal, by the way.
Yeah. So he freaks the fuck out because he doesn't have the moolah to hula, which they actually say. And he looks in the want ads. He finds a job that pays $999.99.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that they had to put the cents in there.
That's the most important part, because, man, what if he didn't have the 99 cents? He'd be screwed.
Also, is that before or after taxes?
We don't bring that in. There are no taxes in Cartoon Land.
Fucking Cartoon Logic, man.
Yeah,
well, anyways,
JD, I had to listen to you prattle on about Cartoon Logic all night. Let's continue, Kyle.
Well, anyways, the like absolute next shot is Mickey Mouse Exorcist. He's looking up the fucking address of this house, and it's like a complete shot-for-shot picture of the Exorcist. But anyways, he gets sucked into the secret lab, and this monkey who's voiced by I can never think, Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer does this monkey's voice, and he's gonna switch his brain with his giant Frankenstein Pete body.
Franken Pete.
Yeah, and they end up doing it. For some reason, they named it Julius, and I always thought it was so fucking stupid. But anyways, it makes Mickey this scary fucking monster, like drooling, giant teeth, and then Pete is basically Mickey.
Yeah.
I need to really watch this. I'm kind of ashamed that I haven't.
I think I've seen it. What, go on?
I was gonna say, I think it just comes from the fact that like Disney's always been like a weird thing, because I know you're like a huge, pretty big Disney fanatic, and I totally understand why people do, but like I watched a lot of Disney cartoons, but I just never it just never was such a huge thing to me, and I just feel like I missed out on some really good stuff now.
Well, I mean, like, when I was a kid, I actually saw it twice in theaters. It was played in front of A Kid in King Arthur's Court, which was, like, probably the shittiest movie ever made.
Yeah.
And then
Daniel Craig appeared in that one.
And then they played it in front of George of the Jungle, which is...
Didn't they play in front of wasn't it in front of the Goofy movie?
Yeah, but I never saw a Goofy movie in theaters.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
That was a
Just so everyone knows, Kid in King Arthur's Court, Daniel Craig was in there.
You know, before he became James Bond.
Yeah, you know, before he actually became like a really. I just thought that was funny that you mentioned that movie of all things.
That's pretty funny.
That is so mind-boggling to me because obviously Daniel Craig is kind of a big deal at this point, and I think a lot of people. I didn't know about him up until I saw Casino Royale.
Holy shit. Well, anyways, it's like this whole thing. Okay, the part that freaked me out as a kid was the doctor flips the switch and it's like super tone setting. There's lots of reds in the background, fucking electricity everywhere. Their teeth are like getting super jagged. It's like this horrible transformation, and then there's an explosion. Anyways, Mickey finds out that he's not himself. He's Pete. So he runs over to the doctor. He's like, holy shit, I don't want the money. I just want my body back. And he picks up the doctor, and he completely disintegrates into dust and skeleton. Yeah. And it's just so, like, it fucked me up as a kid. I didn't like to see, like, shit like that. But, yeah, this doctor completely disintegrates.
That's fucked up.
But anyways, it's like this giant thing where the evil Mickey has this boner for Minnie, and then they high-speed chase, and then they fight on top of a rooftop. It's so fucking great. And it's one of those things where it's like, you always see Disney as like, the children's, you know, like a cute children's thing, and then this is like, they actually take a dark turn, and that's why I like it. It's very...
Well, especially with Mickey, you know, Disney's done dark, but to see Mickey involved in something like that is... Because I'm looking at some of the images now, and yeah, this is kind of a shocking... He almost kind of looks like Ratigan.
Yeah, a little bit.
With how, like, Mickey, like, it's all like... I'm gonna have to really watch this.
I fucking love it. It's so great. I actually own...
Every piece of paraphernalia.
No, I actually own the film. Like, I could watch it if I had a projector.
Wow.
That's commitment right there.
I mean, I wish I owned, like, a millimeter print of Jaws, but... I'm not as... Man, I gotta up my game.
Yes.
Shame on me. That's really good. I actually really am excited to watch Runaway Brain now.
It's pretty sweet. I did enjoy it when... I think I watched Runaway Brain because of you.
Because I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it when I was an edgy teenager.
More or
Sounds
less.
about right.
No, you were just really... You were not that bad about it. Like, you didn't yell at me when I said I'd never seen it.
You were no worse than Andy is about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I got my fucking custom appears in a Google search. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm just saying you should totally watch, at least try to watch some. No, actually, JD, you need to watch One Punch Man.
Probably.
I would recommend One Punch Man, because JoJo's, as much as I love it, I'll admit, it can be kind of hard to get into, because you got a lot to go through.
Yeah.
But One Punch Man, that's my new thing. I'm actually thinking I might do a write-up of it for the website, for our Facebook.
That'd be cool.
Because I really think everyone, I mean, if you're not into anime, everyone should watch this cartoon. It's so good, and it's so hilarious.
So...
I noticed we had a lot of, I'm noticing Disney seemed to kind of rule the roost as far as Halloween and
Disney has some
stuff goes.
As kid-friendly as Disney tries to present itself, like, a lot of its early work, and, even some of its more current work, is really kind of disturbing when you take a step back and look at it.
Well, they for a lot, as much as they get, like, the whole, they're kids, they're a kids company. They kind of aren't afraid to go to that darker segment.
No. They're all like, hey, kids are kids, they can deal with it.
Well, that's how kids, that's how you learn about that kind of stuff. It's better they kind of learn about it in something they can kind of understand a little better than...
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I'd let my kids watch fucking old Disney stuff, It's Disney, how bad could it be?
Agreed.
Oh, Lord.
Horrifying.
Yeah, Kyle still hasn't recovered from that disintegrating doctor. Awful nightmares, night terrors, I hear.
Oh, jeez.
But
But
It's one of those things where it scared you as a kid, and then now you have like a deeper appreciation of it.
That's like me with Jaws. I refused to watch that when I was a kid, and now it's like, for the last many years of my life, I won't shut the fuck up about it, much like...
Oh yeah, do you guys remember, it was around the same time, they had a Timon and Pumbaa cartoon in theaters as well.
no.
I do not.
And it was played in front of, like, movies and stuff. I don't know why they were so into that. I
It's
wish
a
they would
cool
do that.
idea. It's kind of like Pixar. You know, Pixar's doing it with their stuff.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I think it's kind of a throwback to the old days, you know, where you had basically the cereal or the short in front of it.
Well, anyways, I bring it up because I know Andy likes Gilman, and Gilman was in this Timon and Pumbaa cartoon.
I might have to see this.
He fucking strangles Pumbaa.
And why does he strangle Pumbaa? Was Pumbaa being a dick?
It's the whole joke of the song is he's basically singing "Stand by Me" and he's not, and it's just everything fucked up is happening.
Oh, I do remember them singing that song though.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh wow, and you know that's a pretty cool looking Gilman. Like it's not the universal version, but it's like a really cool design.
It's weird to imagine that's like some kind of monster living in Africa.
You know, how come that never came up in Lion King? Why didn't Simba seek help from what I'm assuming is some sort of river guardian?
God.
Now I'm starting to pull a JD. Let's end this.
Oh, you guys don't have any other Halloween goodness for us to talk about this week?
I mean, I think we've really covered a lot of bases here.
Yeah. So, a lot of good stuff for, good classic staple stuff for you to check out this Halloween with her.
Just any time, really, because it's all good.
Yeah, a lot of these aren't Halloween specific, just a lot of creepy stuff, but, it works for this time of year. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Do you guys have any Halloween plans now? I think at the beginning of the month I'd asked if you guys were actually doing anything for Halloween.
Cover band I'm in, we're playing.
One at a time.
Sorry. That was my fault.
I've got a party I'm going to, but I work that night, and I get off an hour before the party starts, and I have to put makeup on and stuff. So.
What are you still doing your mime costume?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're going for call back to an earlier episode. We were talking about Halloween costumes, and Kyle is dead set on going as a mime.
I want pictures of this so bad.
I thought it would be funny.
It is funny. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to make fun. It's not like we're going to make fun of you about it. He's going
to be the most
ginger
ginger mime.
Well, I got a beret to cover my hair.
Oh, well, at least you got the beret. You just wanted to wear a beret.
True.
I mean, who doesn't?
I can't blame you on that. It's one of the few times you can wear it without being looked at as a theater, like, one of those drama kids.
Andy, what are you doing for Halloween this year?
The cover band I'm in, the Soda Jerks, we are playing a party at a bar.
Nice. Are you dressing up as anything?
I'm dressing up as Joel from Mystery Science Theater. Because it's a last-minute costume. Shauna is going as TV's Frank, because that's her favorite Mystery Science Theater character.
That's awesome.
So she decided to do that, and I said, oh, well, I thought I would go as Dr. Forrester, but I didn't feel like trying to piece that together at last minute, even though I'm sure it's probably super easy, so I just got a red jumpsuit, found the Gizmonix logo.
Well, there you go, man.
And I got a hard hat with the G on it, so I'm happy.
You don't have to put, like, a whole lot of, you can go low-key and still put together a good costume, so...
Well, last year I just did Herbert West from Reanimator, and that was like a 5-minute costume, and anyone who got it was like, oh, that's amazing.
Hey man, I decided I was going to go as an Inkling from Splatoon, and literally the hardest part of mine was ordering a $20 crocheted Inkling hat off Etsy.
At least you'll be warm.
I mean, that was the thing. I was thinking, of like, I don't want to put a whole lot of effort into a costume this year. I could be an Inkling and wear literally whatever. All I gotta do is get a hat. But I've got that, and I found an old pair of ski goggles, because my Splatoon character has pilot goggles on, so it's fucking close enough. So now I just have to dig through our fucking closet and see if we still have the black eye makeup, or I might have to go to the spirit store soon.
One of the many, many Halloween stores that
well,
appear.
no, there's a spirit Halloween store almost 5 steps outside of our complex. So,
oh, that's convenient.
I could basically see it from our house. So,
is it haunted?
not as far as I could tell. Not the last few times we've been in there.
Spooky stuff.
No, but we've got some friends coming in this weekend. I think we have to go to someone's party tomorrow, and then I think Mel and one of her friends are going to go to a haunted house on Saturday, but not too exciting.
Man, I swear, when I was a kid, there was the coolest fucking haunted houses. Like around, my parents would take me to these things, and they're just fucking crazy as shit. They're probably cheap as fuck, but I remember them being scary. But the one that just stood with me still for 25 years was, there was this room. It was completely black, and it had polka dots everywhere, and they were blacklit.
Oh.
And then someone was on the wall with the same pattern, wearing a full.
Oh yeah,
They pull a Wednesday Addams.
I have experienced this before.
Yeah, and then you'd see the wall moving, and you're like, what the fuck? And then before you know, this thing's on top of you, and it's fucking scary. Oh man.
Have I told you guys my story of why I don't go to I can't do haunted houses anymore?
Did you hit somebody?
Have I not told you guys this story before?
I don't think
you
so.
Okay, I swear I've told the story a million fucking times to everybody, but anyway, basically I can't physically do haunted houses anymore, because when I was 8-ish, my parents took me to this haunted trail or whatever, and they thought it would be funny to tell the people at the front desk that said, "Hey, this is this kid's first time. Make it extra scary for him." So
this already sounds like it's going to be
people at the
great.
desk got on the radio and said, "This is this kid's name. This is what he looks like." Single him out. And every single thing we went up to on the trail, every single actor came after me specifically. And now I can't go into a haunted house without going into a panic attack. We tried a year or two ago, and I almost broke down in a cold sweat. And it's
sounds
it's fucking.
Sounds like therapist shit.
It is.
This sounds very similar to that Simpsons episode we reviewed.
As much as I didn't. I think I was saying that I didn't enjoy how Lisa was basically reduced to a small child, in that it seemed kind of contradictory to her character up to that point. I could definitely relate to that.
Yeah. I never really went to too many haunted houses. I might have to try and change that at some point. I just don't want to go to one where they put a cage on my head and they let a snake loose and they start I don't know how
would that ever happen?
Oh god, look up some videos on the how haunted houses have upped their game considerably.
You know what's funny as fuck? There is a feminist haunted house in fucking LA, and I would love to go, because I'm sure it's dark room, and someone just screamed in patriarchy. And
is that seriously all it is?
I'm sure it would be. Fucking. And now we go to the next room. Manspreading. Oh no!
Oh my god.
Getting awfully political up here.
Well, with that, I think we should wrap up this episode. I just realized this marks our 20th episode. Well, of the podcast. I'm sure combined with the reviews and the news show, we've done more than 20 things, but still, I feel it's a milestone, and that's cool. But, yes, thank you, Andy and Kyle, for doing this with me every week. Since June we've been doing this, Kyle?
Yeah.
God.
It was our summer project.
It was our summer project, and now it's just our every week thing now. And I'm fine with that. But thank you, listening people, for your continued support. It really means a lot to us. Those of you who do listen. We've been actually getting a lot more, or actually a lot more, and I mean, one or two more comments on our YouTube. When I post these on YouTube, getting people to discuss, bits of the episode, so that's cool.
I got to explain to someone what a receipt blog was from our news show.
I saw that. Yeah, Gary likes to ask questions.
Well, no, I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm trying to find every possible way to get the audience involved.
You've been doing, Andy, I honestly think our visibility has gone up like tenfold just because you've been getting on this shit.
I mean, I'm trying to run contests and stuff because I want people to get into this. I think we have every right to be a popular podcast.
Totally. But like I said at the beginning of the show, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and please share this episode with your friends because it really helps us get the word out and get us new listeners. Because you never know who this might be someone's new favorite podcast or whatever. I hope. There's links in the description for our social media pages because we're everywhere on Facebook and Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter. So definitely check all those out. There's also our our personal pages if you want to check those out and get a hold of us personally like that.
We got to get to those 50 likes because then you get free stuff.
Like we were saying, when we get up to 50 likes, Andy will start doing some art, and every 25 increments until 100.
Not just art for the winner. I will.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to draw.
Yeah, three people will be drawn at random, and I will draw a free request for each of them.
If you want two characters ass ramming each other, then Andy will do that. I may not be so willing, but
I have no shame, so why not?
God, now people are gonna ask me to draw people ass ramming things.
On it.
Oh God, I hate you, Andy. But so I hope everyone has a fun and safe Halloween. Don't
take candy from strangers. Am I right?
Yeah, don't eat strange things. Get home safe if you're going to a party. It's my serious voice.
Yeah, how come that voice has enthusiasm, but when you're talking about the fucking show, you don't have it?
Because I have concern for people's safety.
Safety.
Oh, Lord. Well, anyway, thank you again, everybody. Have a fun Halloween, and we'll be back next week with some non-spooky things, maybe. So say goodnight to the nice people, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
When the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake,
Spooks of mouths swing and wake,
happy haunts materialize,
and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
Now don't close your eyes and don't try to hide.
For a silly spook, place it by your side.
Shrouded in a dark disguise,
They pretend to terrorize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.